Dan, thank you very much for coming along to assist and take part today. Dan Anderson is a resident in Okinawa and actually pretty highly ranked in Goju-ryu and Ryukyu Kobudo, so I'm very happy to have you here. Thank you. Yes, so today's agenda. This morning we're going to go through Hojo related practices. Hojo as a term means supplementary exercise in Japanese, so actually it's a fairly broad term. Traditionally in Okinawa, especially in Goju-ryu schools, there is sort of a set format for Hojo that was passed down from Miyagi Chojun sensei. But other schools have also practiced Hojo along the way too. And so what I'd like to do today is go through a few of the major exercises that I have either learnt or seen at schools doing, and really then look at how that Hojo is related to our karate practice. It's also, I think Hojo supplementary exercise is generally a good thing to do anyway for your general strength, health, balance, etc. So that'll be our first 2.5 hours. Then we'll take a lunch break. And our lunch options are to buy something from the supermarket and bring it back here, or there's a restaurant above the supermarket or a couple other places nearby too. Then in the afternoon, when we come back, we're going to look at fundamental movements. So often these are called basics, but I tend to prefer to use fundamentals because basic sort of implies that this is simple or entry level, which it is and it isn't, right? When you train with seniors here, you'll do lots of basics, guaranteed. In fact, you might do only basics. You might do only basics for a long time. So that shows the importance that they put on the basic movements, really because these are fundamental movements. Without having these movements and these skills, you can't build anything else on top that's reliable. So people often jump ahead to advanced kata and that sort of thing. That's fine for demonstration purposes, but the basics, the fundamentals, are what really build in the skills, the core skills, I think, in our karate and kobudo. So that will be based on sort of the Shorin-ryu model, plus a little bit more. So that'll be our day for today. And then tomorrow we'll be looking at Wanshu kata and Goju Shiho kata. And the reason I've chosen those two is because Wanshu kata is a very tomarite kata. So you know a little bit about karate history. There's sort of different streams, origins of Okinawan karate. Sometimes they're referred to as nahate, tomarite, and shurite. And people think about those as being schools, but it's more useful to think about them as just being different origin points for knowledge. Tomarite being a port, it was the international port. Nahate being the port that the Chinese and Japanese emissaries came through, and shurite, well, shuri being the castle, being the seat of the royal household, and also where the military and most of the weaponry was knowledge and goods were kept as well. So, like I say, if you know your Okinawan history a little bit, you'll know that what we've come to call as karate is in fact a very, very broad church of martial arts practice, of which there are many different origin points. And we can track some of those quite clearly. For example, the lines back through Goju-ryu, Uechi-ryu, but some of the others are much more obscure, lost in obscurity. So shurite, for example. Wanshu, we can track back to Chinese emissaries that came to Okinawa in about the 15th century. Now, whether the kata that we do today is the same kata that they showed is doubtful. However, the style, we think that we can at least see that there's a suggestion of a style and a way of working there. So that's why I think Wanshu is really interesting to investigate. It's one of the kata that's preserved in the Matsubashi-ryu system, and it's a little bit unusual. It's not preserved in many other systems. And then Goju Shiho, a little bit more widely preserved and done these days. Again, an older kata probably originated with Matsumura Sokon, who was bodyguard to the king, 3 kings in fact, and Goju Shiho, which means 54 moves. There are various versions being practiced today, so like anything, it's diverged over time, but nonetheless it's got some really core interesting techniques, interesting ways of dealing with attacks that I think is a really good study. And it contrasts a little bit with Wanshu. You know, you can look at those two and say they're not necessarily from the same, exactly the same person or exactly the same philosophy in terms of fighting. So it's kind of interesting. Cool. You guys have any questions or? Jumping ahead, Wednesday, I think we've decided that we're going to go to visit Urasoe Park, including the Haxall Ridge. We're going to go up to Katsuren Castle, and if we can, Nakagusku Castle, and then Hokama Sensei's Karate Museum. So that will be a good day, a full day. Probably we'll be out there from about 9 to 5 or 6. And then Thursday and Friday, Patrick Sensei will be here. I know he's looking forward to teaching related to the Kian drills, the Motobu drills, and some of his Gyaku Waza as well. So I'm sure that will be a very, very rich learning experience. And if you guys, by the way, want to video anything, or you want to take any notes anytime, that's perfectly fine. Becca's here to assist and be videoing what we're doing anyway, which is to share with you guys afterwards. Okay. So, very quickly then, you've all actually kind of, apart from Dan, who's just arrived and met you guys, but very quickly, if you would introduce yourself and maybe talk a little bit about what you practice and what you teach at your schools as well. Where would you start, Beth?
Hello, I'm Beth Hernley. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, the U.S. And I study a blend of, it's called Shorei Goju-Ryu, and it's more located in the Midwest, and it's bringing Goju-Ryu and Shorei-Ryu through what came from the military system. And he's my husband, these are my 2 children, and I haven't practiced for a while, so I'm looking forward to today.
Thank you.
I'm Emerson Hernley, her daughter, or her son. Anyway,
Only 2 boys.
yeah,
You're
right.
American, you know, it might just go that way.
Anyway, yeah, I haven't really done practice much in the past 2 years or so, similar position as she is.
Fantastic, thank you.
My name is Eugene Dempsey. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Eugene.
I'm Irish. I've been living in Japan for 10 years this year. I've always been doing the one type of karate style, Wado. In the last few years, I've started teaching. I have a small dojo in Osaka, and I teach mainly kids, but I have some adult students as well. I'm married to a woman who does yoga, and I'm very interested in yoga, so I like doing, I don't know, soft martial arts or something. I don't know how to say it. I'd like to think that what I'm doing is I'm not destroying myself. I'm somehow making my existence on earth a little bit easier while seeing the possibilities for defending myself or improving myself. And I like the journey of martial arts, and even though I live in Japan, I sometimes get a little bit bored and tired and emotionally drained, so I come down here to practice with James to escape from doing the laundry and cleaning my house and walking my dog and picking up poop and taking care of my students who sometimes draw a lot of energy, and I don't have a barrier on it, so I come here and I can learn from James in a fun, friendly environment. So I always want to come here. If we could come anywhere in the world, I always want to come here. So thank you, James.
Thanks, sir.
That's me. I like coffee, chocolate, and beer. I'm not allergic to beautiful women either, but I don't really qualify for such an existence anymore.
Thank you.
My name is
Vince Hernley. My son and I run a couple dojos and programs in Indianapolis, Indiana. To take off what my wife was saying, our style was created by a military GI after he was stationed here during and after World War II, and he dabbled in a little bit of everything from judo to kung fu, karate, and he kind of put everything together and created a style that we now continue to teach.
Fantastic.
I'm Benjamin Honley. I usually just go by Ben. I've been training for pretty much my whole life, and I like to branch out and find supplementary training to kind of round out our style. I feel like our style is very open to change and basically find what's good and practice that.
Yeah.
So I like to do
That's good.
Filipino martial arts, stick and knife fighting. Gotten a little into like firearm work to try and figure out how that works into the grand scheme of self-defense, because you can't really escape firearms in the U.S. Unfortunately, sometimes. A little bit of jiu-jitsu recently, but overall, yeah, karate is kind of like the main driving force in my life, and it really is helpful for dealing with a lot of internal stuff as well. Outside of karate, I like to create things, so I like to restore old tools or learn like primitive practices of making tools or weapons or shelter, so on and so forth. So I like to be in the woods, and that's
Cool.
about it. It's a lot of fun.
Just before, Dan, can I ask you, do you do any Goju-derived Hojo Indo in your training already?
No.
No. Okay.
Besides hitting stuff? Not
Yeah.
really, no.
Fair enough.
We
Fair
are
enough.
looking forward to introducing.
Do you use the makiwara in your training?
Unfortunately,
No.
not with our
Okay.
students, no.
Okay, that's cool. That's good.
Hi again.
Again.
Hello.
I'm basically Goju stylist and Ryukyu Kobudo. Started judo when I was a child. There was no karate. And I'm Canadian from Vancouver, British Columbia. I also studied Ryukyu Kobudo. My wife is Okinawan. I've been here for 5 years straight, but I first came in 1993 and was hooked.
Good. Thanks, Dan. Thank you very much.
Oh, and I'm very honored to be here at practice.
Right. Okay, great. Let's kick off. Hi. Hi. Onegaishimasu. Okay, so we're just going to go through a short warm-up sequence, and actually, because our legs are stiff, we're going to just walk around the mat. Just get that blood flowing. Yeah. Okay, and jogging. Okay, face the inside. And outside. And running backwards. And forwards. Okay, I'm walking. Good, good. All right, just spread out, find a space. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna do tiptoes and squats, okay? When we start, just halfway down, okay, just so we get the knees warmed up. Try and keep the weight forward, all right? It's ni, san, shi, go, rok, shich, nach, Q, Ju, good. And now we're going to try and bring the hips level with the knees or below the knees. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shich, hach, Q, Ju. Okay. Good, 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 good. Okay. Okay. Stretch, hips back, okay? So, itch, knee, itch, feet, itch, feet, itch, knee. Try and go a little deeper, itch, and a little further back, itch, feet, right, itch, knee, san, sheep, go, rock, shich, hatch. Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna do a line walking, okay? So I think we can, yeah, we can all squeeze in here. Everybody come down this end. Okay. Good, good, good. Okay, so we're just gonna kick, yeah, and step forward. So you're still warming up, right? So don't overextend the hamstrings. Just go to waist tight, it's fine. Waist tight, but try and get the leg relatively straight, okay? So we're going to go itch, left, itch, feet, stamp, sheep, go, rock, shits, hatch, cue, and turn. Okay, good. A little bit higher, itch, knee, stamp, sheep, go, rock, shits, hatch, cue, cue, good. Turn. Okay. To fingers, okay? Toes to fingers. Hey, itch, knee, stamp, sleep, go, rock, sit, hatch, cube, shoot, turn, and back. Itch, knee, stamp, sheep, go, rock, sheep, stamp, sheep, go, rock, sits, and turn, hey, rock, sits, hatch, good. Didn't do before this time, really try and loosen up the knee. So try to let the knee sort of naturally flex, almost like you're going to throw your foot. So you're going to feel a little more stress on your knees, but try to relax the joint and let it stretch a bit more. Yeah? So like you're going to throw the foot through the hand. Yeah? It's knee, stamp, sheep, go, rock, sits, hatch. Good. Try and loosen those knees up even more. So like you're just like throwing the foot on the end of a piece of elastic. Yeah, really like the knee loosen up. Right, one more time. It's knee, stamp, sheep, go, rock, sits, hatch, cube, hey. Good, good, good. So it's a little bit tricky, but we want to generate the movement from the hips. So we're going to step forward, yeah, from the hips, through, hip, yeah, through, hip, through. So you can go down as much as you can. This is okay too, yeah. If you can go all the way, that's good. Here, but move from the hip. So we're not stepping, yeah, the hip goes first. Okay, so. So again, this is going to stress the knees a bit, but that's the point, right? So, hi, it's knee, stamp, sheep, go, rock, sit, hatch, cube, tube. That's it, good. Nice. So if we've got the knee movement here, then your right shoulder's coming forward. Yep. So once we have that balance, then imagine you are grabbing and putting your weight down onto somebody's arm, shoulder, and then standing up. Same thing's happening again. Grabbing, arm bar, down, standing up in your guard. Okay? Right. It's knee, sam, sheep, go, rock, sit, hatch, cube. Right, shoot, keep going. Good. Good. Try and find that, as much as possible, stability and balance through the whole movement. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again. As we come out of the movement, kick, land. Yeah? As we come out of the movement, kick, land. All right? Hey. Push. Hey. Good. Nice. So now on the way back, try to use the momentum of the previous movement to power the next one, right? Okay, so the kick goes up, the energy comes down again. So rather than pause there, just try to flow into your next movement, okay? It's nice. Good. Walking like the geckos. You've seen the geckos that live in Okinawa. Have you seen them yet? Yes. Your new hotel won't have any inside, hopefully. Oh. But pretty much every house that's been in Okinawa for more than a few years has its resident geckos, right? Yamori. Yeah? Right, you can always hear them before you see them, right? We want to walk like them, right? So from here. Okay, so knees and elbows don't touch the ground. Yeah. Okay. Try and keep hips low, but no resting on the ground. Hey, it should be inside your knee, yeah? Inside your knee. Keep going, yeah, go, go, go. Work inside your knee. Good. But try and allow it's like a kid, right? Kids just stretch. The kids love this one, and they hate it too. Right? When they're kids, they'll do this, yeah? Because the hard bit is keeping your hips and your knees and your elbows just off the ground, right? So let's do it again, one more time. Hey. Hey, it's... When we edit the footage of this, we're going to pivot it 90 degrees. So everybody's doing Spider-Man. It will look amazing. Okay, let's make a circle again. Find a space. Okay, we're going to do push-ups. So these are sometimes called Goju push-ups, sometimes called Hindu push-ups. Different things. So it's a two-phase push-up. You no doubt would have seen this before. Bum in the air, more like a yoga position. We're going to come through, stretch, come back, and then push. Try and keep bum in the air, right? So through, stretch, come back, and down, okay? So try and breathe as well, all right? Hey. Shake, go. Hey. 2, hey. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Do the best you can, take a rest when you burn out. Good. Okay, good. Okay. Just from the Seiza position, actually, we're going to go up into sumo squat. Okay, so knees wide, feet about 45 degrees. If you can, drop your hip below your knees. It's tricky. Yeah, but that's the objective. Just sort of sit down into the position. You know, ideally, it's really about relaxing the hip joints. Yeah. And from here, just extend left leg straight. Left or right, doesn't matter. We're going to do both. And again, try and, if you can, sit down on the heel. Okay, from here, you can use hands or not use hands. Roll across to the other side. That's it. Bring the other hip across. And roll back. Hitch, knee, change. Stamp. Sheet. Go. Rook. Chich. Hatch. Cube. Jupe. Good. So, whatever your bent knee side, now pivot towards that, inside the knee, so you change to a front stretch. Okay, so we're feeling a really good stretch on the back thigh. If you can, go down elbows to the mat. Okay, and then hands come up a little bit, and then pivot across to the other side. You're killing this, easy. Oh. Yoga master.
Not master, just I like it. I'm Irish. Do you ever see anyone good at yoga in Ireland? No.
Only when they're drunk.
Yeah, that's Irish yoga.
Okay, come back to the middle and stays up. Good. Okay, that's good stuff. So, just going to do a little 1 minute of mokuso. So bring together. So now we want to center ourselves around the tanden. Okay. If you're breathing heavily, try and focus on relaxing your breathing cycle. And slowing down your heart rate. Okay, Emmett. Good stuff. Okay. Okay, so let's jump into some Hojo Undo. All right. What we're going to do is start with Chishi. So let's go over and take a look at those. So who's used Chishi before?
Just with you.
Oh, just here, right? Obviously, Dan, you know it very well. Yeah. You used them before a little bit? Yeah, haven't we? Right. Yeah, a little bit. So first, we want to learn the technique of Chishi. So that means we'll go for a lighter one that's easy to hold. Obviously, Chishi are going to work your wrist, or grip, your wrist, and then the rest of your structure. So first we want to select a Chishi that's reasonably easy to hold like this. They're inherently unbalanced. Right, that's the whole point of them. So I'm going to get one that we can actually hold relatively easily without getting tired. And then from there we'll work the exercises. So just go and select one Chishi that you like. Doesn't matter which one, and if you get one you want to change, you can change halfway through. Okay.
Inherently unbalanced.
Oh, you chose the.
Go for the big challenge.
I'm gonna claim that the kids made that one. Yeah, right. All right. So yeah, just come around a little bit, spread out a little bit. There you go. Yeah, good. Okay. So first thing we're gonna do is work on our stance. Yeah. So when we're doing Chishi, we want to work in the whole body. So we need to be standing correctly. Right. So parallel stance, feet under the shoulders. I would say feet parallel. Yeah. And you want to have that feeling like you're connected, gripping the ground. Yeah. So if you're stood up on your heels, you're sort of not gripping the ground, right? Very slightly bend the knees. That feeling of being rooted. Yeah. Then when you pick up the Chishi, you want to hold it in our center. Yeah. So the elbow's in close to the body. If you hold it with two hands, it would be sort of a diamond grip, yeah, shape. A triangle here and the body behind. For now, we're going to hold it one hand and keep the other one back, just to keep it out of the way. So you just want to learn that balance. In Okinawa, there are festivals where they have great big poles with like banners and flags and things on the top. You know, the village festivals. It's called Hatagashira. And they have an extra big knot, and they sit the pole on the knot, and they carry it around. And these things carry, you know, the thing costs weighs like 200, 300 kilos, whatever, right? Yeah, and they're just bouncing it around. And then they bounce it to the next person, right? Bounce it back, because they've got everything on their center. And that's what we want to feel like this is being held by our center, not just by our hands and our wrist. Yeah. So here, good. So we can put it in, push it out, in, out, in, out, in, out. The out position, we're using our lats rather, to secure the position. Itch, knee, itch, knee, itch, knee, itch, knee. Good. Change grip, other side. Same again. Don't let the elbow flare out. Keep that in, tucked in nice and close. And it goes out. Yeah. Itch, leap, 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 itch, leap. Good. Change hands again. Okay. From here, we're going to bring the Chishi back and then bring it forward again. So it's going to go over the shoulder. You can actually just have it just touching. You can use this as a stretch for your shoulder joint. And from here, it's almost like we're going to throw it forward. Yeah, throw it with your body. Okay. Itch, knee, sam, sheep, go, rock, chich, hatch, cube, tube. Good. Hey, outside. Itch, knee, sam, sheep, go, rock, chich, hatch, cube, tube. Good. Take a little rest. So in our karate, we throw our hands forward. In our kobudo, we throw our hands forward. So you can see that this exercise is directly analogous to that kind of movement. But also, it enables us to feel, are we connected together? Yeah. When you start, you're probably going to be using shoulder strength, upper body strength, yeah, which is fine. You need that for stability, but if all your power comes from here, you'll burn out really quickly. So we want to try and use pull and push from the center. Pull and push from the center. So there's a wave of movement which travels up to the hand. Yeah? Okay. 2 hands. Just so we get a variety on that movement. Yeah? So same thing again. Here, this time, don't smack yourself in the back of the head. It's knee and Beth, throw it forward. Imagine you're throwing it forward, yeah, not down. Yeah. If you throw down, your posture breaks and changes. Yeah. So it's knee, sun, sheep, whoop, rook, shich, hatch. Cube, jupe, good. And then keep that balance there. Good. Okay. Now relax. Hey. Yeah, so when we're doing this, we want to protect what we call a Seichu Sen, our center line. Seichu Sen, body center line. Yeah. So the Seichu Sen is this way, but it's also this way too. Yeah. So we want to keep our head above our shoulders, above our core, above our hips. Yeah. If we lean this way, then everything goes off balance. Everything goes off balance. And if we lean too far this way, everything goes off balance. So we're doing all of the exercises, yeah, even when we're doing squatting and going deep, not bringing the head down, but bringing the center down. Try and keep that stacked up, yeah? Okay, good. Okay, hey, ja, next exercise. Hey. Good. So we're going to pull in. As we extend out, allow the chi-chi to continue forward, and roll it over the shoulder. Yeah. So commonly, what often happens is people do this. They just lean it backwards, take it forwards, forwards, and loop, forwards, and loop. Yeah. Okay. Hey, it's knee, san, forwards, knee, go. Rook, shich, hatch, cube, juke, forwards, roll and bring it over the shoulder, like we did before, right? Over the shoulder, yeah, not in a big circle. Not out here, yeah? Vertical, here, over the shoulder. Yeah, okay, let's change hands. So, practice, just allow it to fall forward, roll and bring over the shoulder, good. Your body is allowed to move, right? So again, we're training Kobudo, and Dan Sensei will demonstrate this a lot better than me, but it's almost like the weapon's going to go through the space where you were, right? If you want to move really quickly and efficiently. The further the weapon is away from you, the longer it takes, the less power you have to deal with it, right? Less leverage, less the center is removed. This is the same thing, right? Here, imagine the circles going through. So you can move your hips too, right? Okay, one more time. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, shich, hatch, cube, jupe, and come back to that center position balanced. Good. And relax. Good. Again, right hand. Okay, so this time we're going to go outside and bring it over the shoulder. So right hand's going to go over left shoulder and then pull back over the right shoulder. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Yeah? Okay. It's ni, san, shi, go, rook, shich, hatch, cube, jupe. Good. Keep that balance. Change. So right shoulder, left shoulder. It's ni, san, shi, go, rook, shich, hatch, cube, jupe. Good. Good. And relax. So just a note on breathing while we're doing this. So this is very much an opportunity to use this as a breathing exercise too. in Okinawa, there's a great divergence of opinions about how you should do breathing in karate. So from the don't show your breathing at all to very loud, very forceful breathing as a way to, I guess the idea is to accentuate the movements. Yeah? You can't say one's right or wrong, but my feeling is that your body's like a accordion, right? When you open it, the air gets sucked in. When you compress it, the air gets pushed out. And it's exactly the same for your diaphragm and your chest. Yeah. So when we're doing exercises like this that open the chest, the air should naturally go in, and you shouldn't try and stop it. And when we go forward and we compress the body and chest, the air will naturally come out. And again, you should naturally allow that to happen. If it makes a noise or doesn't make a noise, I don't think it matters too much. But for me, allowing yourself to breathe is really important, right? So, and I don't think there should be any sort of preparation for that. You shouldn't be thinking, get ready to breathe, right? It should just happen naturally. You just want the oxygen in, naturally. So that's my position on breathing. Ki, sometimes you can use ki very effectively. I don't think that necessarily kiing and breathing very loudly makes your technique stronger, but it might give you the psychological advantage. So there's no question about that. But you don't need to breathe forcefully and make a noise in order to punch harder. There's no evidence of that. So, breathing naturally, I think, is the best thing to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is a combination set of the last three movements we did. So it's going to look like this. Yeah, we're going to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1 push, then the roll on the outside, then the roll on the inside, and we're going to finish in the same position. Okay, we'll do 10 on that side, 10 on that side. Okay, a little bit of hard work. We can do it, right? Okay, yeah, it's neat. So, yeah. Keep it very close to the body. Keep it close to the body, close and over the shoulder. So, sheep. Go. Rock. Shitch. Hatch. Cue. Jupe. Okay, and the other side. No, you're not. No, you're not. Good. Keep your center, yeah? So think about everything coming down to your center line. If the chi-chi starts to go off, try and bring it back into the center. When we're moving the chi-chi, as a rule, and this is actually as much to protect your shoulders as anything else, don't let the weight go wider than your shoulders. This is the position to rip somebody's shoulder out. Yeah, if you know arm locks, yeah, this is where the shoulder is not strong. So really careful that the chi-chi isn't going essentially wider than this line, because you are exposing, you'll tear, I forget what they're called, but you'll tear the muscles, or good chance you'll tear across the front of the shoulder, right? So keep the chi-chi as much as possible. This is the simple movement, right? Stays in line. When we're here, try not to go out here, yeah? Trying to bring it under there, yeah? And of course, when we're here, over the shoulder, so not out here, yeah? This is all to protect your shoulder, and fundamentally much stronger position, yeah? Okay, so same combination, left hand side. Hey, it's neat. Sound. We're not hearing it. I thought it would be a hollow sound. Blood's all right. That's okay. Blood's good. Yeah, we paint the chi-chi with blood. That's good. We could do with a new coat of paint. It's 6. So now as you're getting tired and the arms and the shoulders are burning out, you're really going to need to use your body, yeah? Most of us probably left is weaker, unless you're a lefty. Yeah, so last one. Okay, very good. Shh. Just shake off. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but usually the Chi component in Hojo Undo training will be about 20 minutes, 30 minutes-ish. Yeah? So we're going to do about double that today, just so you can see different techniques. So you are going to work a little bit harder on these than usual. Once you get the techniques, though, less breaks, more flow. Yeah? You can just transition from one exercise to the next, one exercise to the next, right? So you can make it more intensive. But a good 20 minutes Chi workout usually is plenty, particularly as part of, say, like in some Goju dojos, they'll do Junbi Undo for an hour or an hour and a half. I was at a dojo, Higo Ono Sensei's dojo the other day. Yeah, like they'll do Hojo Undo for 2 hours. And then they'll be like, oh, should we do some kata? Yeah, let's do some kata. I've got some great videos actually. I didn't post them yet, but I'll show you guys later on. They're really good. Okay, so you can take that as one set, right? This movement, this movement, this movement. Yeah. So this is very analogous to our forward striking and guarding type positions, right? So it's going to help to build your strength and structure, essentially, in this phase, this area. Yeah. Okay. Our legs gave us stability. Okay, but we weren't squatting or anything. But in the next set, we will do more squatting. And the squatting is really important. Like we squatted right at the beginning in the first warm-up exercise, you know, to get that stability, but also to keep our joint flexibility and joint strength as well. Okay, so, hey, 2 hands down. Hey. Okay, so this time we're going to push and squeeze, like we're squeezing a towel, wringing out the water from a towel, which means you're engaging principally the lats, and then relax. Let's knee, san, shi, go, rock, shich, hach, and hold that grip for 1, 2, relax, chi, cube, chu. Okay, good. Right. Okay, next one, we're going to go over and forward. Over and forward. Yeah. It's knee, san, shi. As you come down, squeeze with your muscles here, with your lats. Yeah. Go. Rock. Shich. Hach. Cube. Jupe. Good. Okay, next phase. Squat, invert, and extend. Then come up and extend. All right. So slowly invert first, and squat and extend. Try to go down, come up. Good. Try to have the feet relatively parallel. If you go out here, I actually find it, I don't know about you, but I find it more difficult to squat lower here because the knees are really starting to pop out sideways. So almost like a skier. Yeah, like you're going to go skiing. Yeah, try and keep those knees more or less forward. Right? So the one combination, we're going to extend, 1, and we're going over the back, 2, and we're going to go number 3. Whoop. Augment. So I extend, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, breathe in. 3, exhale. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's knee, san. It's knee, san. It's knee, san. It's knee, san. It's knee, good. Look forward, don't look down. Right. 2 more. It's Ni, sa, ich, ni, sa, sa, and rest. Good. Good job. So again, it's another set, right? 1, 2, 3 combination. Okay. Everybody okay? We'll do one more set and then we'll take a break. Okay, so this one now is going to work the wrist even more. So this time we're going to squat. Every time we push forward, squat, okay, outside, squat, inside, squat. Yeah. So we're going to feel like we're bringing the weight and catching it back into the center again. Yeah? Yeah, as we go down here. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So down here, 1. Yeah. Sorry. Down here, forwards, go on. Side here. Yeah. And then side here. Yeah. Right. Okay. Ready. Hitch. Knee. Sa. Right. Hitch. Knee. Sa. And catch. Hitch. Knee. Sa. Hitch. Knee. Sa. Hitch. Knee. Sa. Okay, change hands. Wait. Hitch. Knee. Sa. Hitch. Knee. Sa. Hitch. Knee. Sa. Hitch. Knee. Sa. One more. Hitch. Knee. Sa. Knee. And catch. Good. And rest. Whew. Yeah.
Are we dropping it vertically or horizontally?
Just don't hit the ground. So,
I have no problem hitting the ground.
so if you didn't go too deep, then yeah, you can go down. Yeah. So this one is going to work the wrist in particular. Yeah. So, yeah. This. Yeah.
So are you really kind of lifting the weight on the way back up with your legs, so you wait heel, you're kind of accelerating the weight up and then catching it?
Yeah. So it's a bit like what powerlifters do, right?
Yeah.
Where they just get underneath the weight.
Like cleaning and joking.
Yeah. So you can play with that, right? If your timing's there, you just get under the weight, or you can make the shoulder and the arm work a bit more. So either one. But either one's good, because actually that ability to get under the weight is really, really useful. In our martial arts, you know, you're grappling with somebody big and heavy. If you drop underneath them, bang, yeah, exactly. So it's one of the bases of kazushi, right? Breaking the other person's balance is to drop under their center without really them moving. Yeah, that's a skill. You give them a signal, nothing to push back against, just drop under their weight. Okay, let's put these away. Okay. Would you like to get a drink of water?
Yes, please.
Yes, absolutely. If you feel you need to take a break, or feeling a bit like this, just say so. It's perfectly fine. You can take a break. Please take a break, have some water, and
I might end up getting it now for having a big mouth.
That's my size.
no. Everybody else, come and take one you like. Those are whatever you like. I'll do the big red one. I'll do the big red one in a minute. Yeah. The big red one's not great for teaching. Hey, you do it like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All I say is Ben, Emerson, watch out.
Yeah, just a little more space, Yeah, yeah. Come away from the window. Okay, so basic rotations. We can do basic rotational exercises with these. The hammers are just one of the easiest things to get hold of and use. But you can see now that there's a sort of an exercise craze for mace training these days, last few years. But these kind of tools go back, way, way back, right? Indian clubs, club bells, another thing, which is basically the same idea, very similar. So it's very likely that actually the single-handed chi chi exercises that we have inherited actually originated from double-handed. And these all go back to mainly wrestling traditions, right? Right back to the Middle East, probably even further back to like Greece, ancient Greece and places like that. Really fundamental exercise, okay? So rotations, I find, is a really good exercise. Once you've got it, it's so simple, you don't have to think about it. It becomes almost like a Zen thing, right? But it's a great exercise. So, our way of standing is going to be the same as we were doing previously, right? We want to feet shoulder width apart. We want to bring the focus down into the center. And when we're holding the weight, use the whole body to hold the weight, yeah? So, I'll pick up. 2 hands at the end. If you're really struggling, you can adjust your grip and go a little closer to the weight. That's the same always with the other chi chi too. And as we did before with a single, we're going to go over one shoulder and back over the other one. So over the left and pull over the right. Yeah. Right. For now, try to avoid pulling over your center. It's a little bit heavier and bigger. You don't want to clock yourself in the head. Right. So over the left shoulder, and you can do this really slowly. You can actually get the feel. You can feel it, and then feel it coming over there. So you don't have to do it in midair to start with. Rest it on your left shoulder. Yeah, allow it to go back and pivot, stretch, rest it on your right shoulder, and then roll it over. Yeah, that's just so you get the position, you feel where it is. Okay, so we're going to go left, right. So inhale, exhale. Yeah, inhale, exhale. Yeah, inhale. Okay, good. Take a little break. It's just like anything. Once you get the technique, it becomes much easier. And most of the work will be done by your body. Again, because this tends to be, it doesn't have to be a heavy weight, by the way. It doesn't have to do it heavy, but you can do it heavier. And that's a great training because it allows you to get used to moving heavier things with less effort. Right? So again, with the weapons or even with other people, you need to move them around. You're going to be better at moving them around, right? Okay, so try and work with the weight rather than against it. Yeah? If it's got momentum, allow that momentum to move. Just adjust the momentum and allow the bounce to come back. When you stretch, yeah, you'll find you have the natural elasticity in your joints. Just use that to come back to the front. You stretch. If the weight's in front of you, your center is going to go back to counterbalance it. When the weight's behind you, your center will go forward to counterbalance it. So use this, and a little bit. In this one, it's mainly forwards and backwards, but there's a little bit of adjustment too. Yeah? Like when we were going the outside, there was a little more adjustment. Yeah? So adjusting, and using the counterbalance. Okay? So we're going to go in the other direction. So if you had your left hand up before, I would go the other way. And we're going to go, the other way. And then we're going to go right shoulder, left shoulder. Let's knee, thumb, sheep, whoop, rook, shits, hats, cube, jeep. 10 more. Hips, knee, thumb, sheep, go, rook, shits, Hutch. Cube. Jupe. Find your balance. Good, and relax. Okay. So I find the best way to get used to this is just to do it. So actually, rather than counting reps, what we're going to do is just work for a period of time. All right. So you can go one way or the other way, left or right, left rotation, right rotation. It's up to you. Change halfway through if you want. Doesn't matter. But we're going to work for 1 minute continuously. Okay. Wait. Wait. Good. There's a great range of different exercises you can do with this kind of tool. I have a good friend called Sal Belahi, who's based in the States, and he's actually published a number of workouts, mace training workouts. I highly recommend those if you're into that kind of thing. There's all kinds of variations. We've been static, but there are stepping variations where you can step. Yeah, there are turning variations where you're working with the movement of the mace. Everything works with the movement of the mace or the weight. And that's actually, I think, a really, really valuable thing to do. So I highly recommend that. What I do mainly is just this simple rotation exercise. Sometimes a little bit of movement, mainly just static rotations. And I find that's very, very beneficial for base, for midsection, yeah, for breathing, and also for that kind of sense of engaging the body as opposed to just using, the arms and the shoulder strength. Yeah. If you work for 1 minute, that's pretty hard. Yeah. But if you can work for 1 minute, you can work for 2 minutes. And if you can work for 2 minutes, you can work for 4 minutes. Basically, because once you're into it, it's the flow. It's the flow of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's fatiguing, but it's not like it's sort of it's a constant movement, right? It's like running. Yeah. Once you kind of into running, enjoy running, you can run quite, almost as long as you want, right? At a pace that's really comfortable for you as well. That's the other thing with this is this is not a strength contest. Yeah, and I would recommend not treating it as a strength contest because you need to protect your shoulders. Yeah, you should get stronger as you do this, of course. But if you want to build real core strength, you should lift barbells. Yeah, or rocks or something. Yeah? You just want core strength. This is a dynamic flow, dynamic strength. Yeah. So, okay, good. Let's put these away. Just put that. There's a set. Just take one and spread out a little bit. We're all actually going to work. If we can, actually, if you guys all line up along that side of the mat, that would be the best. Right. Oh, there's nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. 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 Yeah. I mean, these are so. So these ones, the ones that are funny shapes with the big lips, these are custom made. Here in Okinawa by an artist who just loves making these kind of things. These are actual sake jars from a factory. These are seconds. So in Okinawa, relatively easy to get hold of. In other places, not so much. But your supplement jars, those, something we've got a grip, you can grip, are a good substitute. Even actually, you can just use dumbbells. So, What have we got here? Well, just to illustrate, right? If you can get something you can grip, yeah, these not quite work, but you get something you can grip, just to, these, here. Yeah, even just something like this, yeah, where you can get the gripping position. Why do we want this gripping position? Right, because this is fundamental to our karate. Yeah, when we're gripping limbs, or in the older style karate, the throat, or down here, or even just gripping flesh, tearing flesh, then this, particularly this grip, you can see that this is like an open grip, yeah? So slides off stuff, yeah? But here, then you've got that kind of hooking grip. And whether you're using the thumb to hook, or whether you're closing in between this gap, closing this gap here on the side, then you're building that strength. So this is gripping strength. And the stories of the old masters, Motobu Choki, was that, they had to grip like a monkey. Could climb all over stuff with their grip. So they were renowned for their strong grip. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Let me just borrow those just for a second. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are familiar with Sanchin Dachi? Yep. Use that in stance. Okay. So we're going to use Sanchin Dachi. Okay. Our grip, fingers, and side of the thumb. Yeah. Sanchin Dachi. Keep a nice straight posture. When we open Sanchin Dachi, step, yeah, and then close. When we close, bring the hip in and forward, so we're putting tension in the buttocks. Yeah, close position. Then when we open, here, and grip. Open, close, and then when we move, open, ready to move. Yeah. So if you don't open this one, it's a little bit harder to move, and also this is tense, so it's harder to move. So open. Yeah, and then close. Open, close. Okay? With the grip, shoulders back. Yeah, tension in the back. Yeah, just keep the pots basically just behind you. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so I'll swap in with you guys in a minute. Okay, so Sanchin Dachi. So Sanchin Dachi is just offset. If your feet are standing on a parallel line, your left foot's going to slide forward until your heel is on that parallel line. So heel and toe in line, and then grip, like you're going to grip the ground, right? When you open the front foot, yeah, open the front foot, and then slide in. And again, heel toe lined up. If you step any further, it becomes Seisan Dachi. Yeah, which again, not wrong, just different. But for now, Sanchin Dachi is fine because you're not in a race to get across the mat. Yeah, we're really going to work the grip. Yeah. Okay, so kamaite. So pick up the pots and go into left Sanchin Dachi. Yeah. Try not to look down, but look forward. Yep. Okay. Ich. Crescent step into right. Ni. Yeah. Good. San. Shi. Good. Go. Rok. Shich. Hach. Kyu. Ju. Okay, if you feel like you're going to lose your grip, you can just put the pots down. It's okay. Take a break. Okay. You're going to go backwards. No turning, just as you are. Slide back the same way you came. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Good. Go. Every stance, feel like it's very balanced. Rok. Shich. Hach. Q. Ju. Good. Okay, and everybody go back to starting position. And put the pots down. You can take a break. Very good. Very good. Okay. Good, good, good. So, keep that. Try and keep also, when we're working in Sanchin, and again, I defer to my senior, who is a Goju-Ryu senior, but Sanchin should be popping up and down, right? Or going left and right. It should be very stable and centered. So you should be holding your center of gravity very, very level. Yeah, very, very level. What we're going to do next is when we come up to the end of the mat, yeah, we're going to put in our kosodachi and turn around into sanchin. Yeah. So that can work either way. Kosodachi and into sanchin. Okay. So we're going to do one on join you this time since I've got a set of pots now. Okay. Hey. Hish. Let's go. Hitch. Neat. Hey. Wait. Wait. When you hit the red mat, turn. Just be careful as you turn not to smash the other person next to you. Wait. You get to the end, turn again. And rest. Hitch. Good. Should be having a bit of a pump by now. Okay. That in itself as a basic movement is good. It's good. I mean, obviously, you know, it's good for your grip strength. You can go as long or as short as you want to. Okay, so we'll just look at a couple of variations on that. So one variation is to actually to go from the outside grip to the inside. Okay, so if you have a pot that you can get your hand inside, unfortunately those are not really designed for that. But the sake pots work much better. So maybe you guys might get to sort of take turns, but my hands will just about. And what was that? If I put my hands in here, and I'm going to be like a monkey and like never. I think. That one's all right. That one. You're saying it's fat? My left hand finds that very hurtful. I'm going to use those. Yeah. Yeah. These are a little bigger. Yeah. Yeah. So hands inside and fingers flayed out. Right, so now this is you did compression with extension, yeah? Flexion, extension, yeah? So, here, same thing, right? Sanchin, but fingers out, flared out. Yeah, same thing, okay? Just really try and keep those fingers really working, yeah? Okay? Guys, where you can't put your hands inside the pots, you can work another variation, okay? Which is from here, pick up, and bring down. Put your thumb under, yeah. Okay, all right. Okay, so hands inside. Do you want hands inside or you lift? Either one's fine. You did that. Yeah, you did actually. Yeah, I saw you cheating halfway through. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, give it a try. Dan, do you want to use those?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you can leave those there. That's okay. Just drop them in there. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So you can lift. That's fine too. And also you can try to. Yeah, there you go. It's going to really stress your thumb, right? So.
Yes.
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah. Sensei. All right, we're going to work one more position with these pots, which is the shikodachi position. Okay, so we've done sanshin dachi, right? So we're going to do shikodachi. From the turn. Keep that straight back. This foot's going forward and into shikodachi. Yeah. Okay. So you see this from your goju saifa? Seiyunshin. Yeah. It's in the kata, yeah. Yeah.
So are you moving
So I'm working along a straight line.
45 to 45?
My center's on this line here. Yeah, and I keep my center on this line. So this leg is along this line. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Try not to pop up too much. So try to slide, yeah, rather than popping up and down. Yeah. Cool. There's one more variation I've seen, which you do sometimes. It's a little less demanding. They do this in uechiru. Because in uechiru they have this sanshin position, right? And this is the uechiru sanshin position as we did last time, right? Yeah, so they'll take one pot, hold it like this, and walk sanshin. Their way of turning is on the toe, right? Remember they turn on the big toe? Yeah. Yeah. So they have these, very calloused, very strong big toes because they'll turn on. I get it right now. Here, yeah, here on the big toe, yeah, yeah. So that's kind of one of the uechiru ways of doing this too. Yeah. All right. Should we put these away? Right. This. Good. Okay, we're going to do just one set with kettlebells. Okay, so come and grab a pair of kettlebells. Again, go for the smaller sizes. We just work technique to start with. You want a set. And you can swap around afterwards. Yep. Take that set. You take that set, it's all good. And I'll take the little ones. Okay. So, again, just spread around so you've got a little bit of space here. In traditional Okinawan Hojo Undo, you have sashi ishi, which is also sometimes called a stone lock. So basically it's sort of square with a handle, right? Pretty much analogous to the shape of a kettlebell, just less rounded. There are basically two kinds of exercises. There's swinging exercises and extension exercises, yeah? So we're going to look at a couple of those. Oh, and one other thing as well, yeah? You can also use these in place of the tetsugeta, right? Tetsugeta, yeah, this kind of stuff. So we'll do that at the end a little bit, yeah. Tetsugeta, that's always an interesting souvenir to take back from Okinawa. Customs are like, why would you? And they're like 20 kilos, right? So you've thrown everything else out of your luggage to put these steel geta in there. Why? Ah, karate, right, yeah, okay. Okay, so we'll start with, we'll go straight into 2, okay? You can do these exercises with just 1, 2, but we'll go straight into 2. So what we're going to do is, again, we'll go from a swing, a back swing, come up and catch, yeah? Pull in, extend. Swing, catch, pull in, extend. Swing, use a natural swing. Okay, so keep going. Good. Yeah. Try not to look down. Okay, so start with the swing back. Look forward, catch, pull, push, look forward. Try not to look down because it will, again, kind of affect your posture. So this pushing and catching is very distinctive for the Okinawan Hojo Undo. The catching on top of the wrist. You know that, yeah. This punch and catch. Punch and catch. Okay. One more set. When we're going down, just try and use again the weight naturally to get to here. So most of your legs are doing the work, right? Yeah, try to avoid flexing the arms to there. Then the arms are going to work, and then we're going to use the natural catch. Come forward, okay? Yep. It's perfectly okay also. Like I said, this is not a strength building contest, right? So it's perfectly also okay to not have anything, right? 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, still really good exercise. Yeah, so. Right. It's. Two more. Hey, okay. Shh. Okay, good. Next exercise, we're going to work like a lateral punch. Lateral punch. So hold the bell relaxed on the shoulder. So there shouldn't be really any strength in the hand right now, just sort of sitting it there. Punch, catch, yeah, and then the other one, punch, catch, punch to the side. Try to do this straight, and then roll and catch. Straight, roll and catch, yeah, like that, yeah. So, now, a couple of things you can experiment with. So, footwork. So I'm gonna say, start with, try and keep your feet where they are. Yeah, so, right, so try and keep this base. you can try this afterwards, but I suspect it's a little less stable. But it's for you to feel, right? As you get more weight, and thank you guys, you promoted me to the heavier weight because you took all the light ones today. But you want the stability. Yeah, stability. When we're punching, yeah. So, particularly in Okinawan karate, where it's close in, we're grappling, we're grabbing, tearing, pulling, kind of expecting the other person to do that too, because the karate is designed, the modern karate is designed for civilian self-defense. Yeah. So you're fighting people or having to deal with people who are not trained, probably. Yeah. It's an interesting difference. This is something I realized when I went to Taiwan. So in Taiwan and China, there's an incredibly high level of sophistication in technique, right? I would say it's in some ways more sophisticated than I would say Okinawan karate is. But I realized why. It's because there's been this sort of ongoing war between the dojos for generations. So they're constantly trying to outthink the last set of moves that the last dojo did and won with. So like, okay, well if they did da-da-da-da, we have to do da-da-da-da-da, right? And like the level of complexity was driven up by this sort of arms race between the different styles, right? So in a way, their focus became beating other martial artists. Whereas in Okinawa, that never really happened, that kind of, there's a rivalry between dojos, but it wasn't like one dojo going to war with another dojo, right? That didn't really happen, as far as we're aware. There may have been some matches here and there, but but we don't get the stories about like ongoing kind of, one dojo goes and attacks another dojo and steals their banner and takes it back to the other dojo, right? Doesn't happen in Okinawa. So the focus is much more on like how do we deal with typically, untrained aggression, right? And in that case, yeah, it's not going to be very clean, very tidy. It's going to be very messy. Yeah, you all know if you've had a job or done something we have to deal with violence. It's very messy. It's unpredictable. People grab you as soon as they can, either because they want to or because they feel like they're falling over or whatever. Yeah, they'll grab, right? You'll get grabbed almost immediately. Very rarely do you get stand up in a fisticuffs for very long at all, right? Somebody's on the floor fairly quickly. Often it's you, right? Yeah. So the point is that we need to have stability. Stability. It's interesting that, and again, this is a generalization, but it's sort of a working theory of mine, is that sports karate these days is focused on extreme speed and extreme mobility, right? That's great if you're scoring a point, but most of the time the point scored is done with almost no capability to defend yourself against the next thing that happens. Yeah. In fact, they'll go, bah, way, come and hit me in the face, right? So traditional karate, very different, right? You've got to always be ready for what you use not working, not being sufficient, being used against you, next move, right? So BJJ is also built on that philosophy. It's like a game of chess, yeah? You've got to be 2, 3, you've got to have the next, at least. I would say, next 10 moves, probably fairly irrelevant. But the next 2 or 3, yeah, you've definitely got to have that, right? So stability, yeah, I would say stability over hypermobility, for example. Yeah, definitely, I think, also from my experience, yeah, if you end up on the floor, you're in trouble, against anybody else, yeah. Anybody can stamp on you. Even if they're fairly small, it's still going to hurt, right? So, come back to this. Let's give this a try. Bring up the kettlebells. So we just want to, first we're just going to find this position where we're relatively balanced, yeah? So, look, knees bent, feeling stability sideways in particular, yeah? So we're going to right hand punch to our left side, allow the bell to come up and catch, yeah? Punch and roll and catch. Yeah, roll and catch. There we go. Other way. It's hey. 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 Keep those knees parallel. It's. Hey. 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 Good. And rest. Yes. Same time tricky. Probably strangle yourself. Rip your arms out. Yeah. Yeah. Just clang. Yeah.
Skull crusher, and I was in the gym and it was like crack. Okay, that's why it's called skull crusher. Body condition.
Okay, so one more set with this. Let's go for 10 to 20 reps. See how you feel, okay? Again, try and use your body. Yep, hey. Okay, let's go. It's. Yes. Good stuff.
I like that one.
Yeah. Okay, shake off. Okay, let's put those away. Then set. Right. Okay, so we'll take a short break there. Have a drink, towel down. Make sure stores on. Hey.
At the moment, don't have that the traditional standing post.
Mainly because nothing to secure it to at the moment. Working on that. But instead we have the lateral one here. So 2 positions, actually 3 when your hands are conditioned, but 2 positions here to work on. And then one over here, which is the wall-mounted makiwara. So this one has a little cushion on it. It's less stable sideways. So when you use this, you really got to hit it in the center. It's easy to slip off the sides. But the thing is with makiwara practice is it's a mistake to go too heavy, too hard, too fast. Yeah, makiwara practice is not about taking the skin off your knuckles, right? We know. Yeah, most people do. Everybody does. I've done it. Everybody's done it, right? You know, it's really easy to take the skin off your knuckles with makiwara. You know, leave some blood on there. Yeah, you know. Everybody does it, right? In fact, the the same dojo, Osaka Wado-ryu dojo, Wado Kai dojo, that both of us, are you still going there? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, I teach there.
Yeah, right. Wooden makiwara, no pad. Does it have a pad now? They haven't put a leather pad on it, have they?
One has some remainder of a bit of a pad with it. Most of it's a hole.
Yeah, yeah.
It's wood, just wood. Sorry.
But at this dojo, the one in Osaka, they wouldn't put a pad on it, and you basically had to punch it until there was blood all over it. Now I'm going to say now that was a misunderstanding of what that's for, but it was sort of a badge of honor. Everybody left with bloody knuckles, right? All well and good, except that it takes, you can't do much else while that's healing apart from go and crack it open again, which is not the smartest thing to do. So makiwara is about training stance and posture. It's about aligning your power and your structure behind one point of focus, right? The makiwara, because it has a little flexion, gives you feedback. The harder you hit it, the more you get back, right? So it's different from a wall, and it's different from a heavy bag. Heavy bag training is very good, right? No question at all. If the karate masters 200 years ago had heavy bags, they all would have used them, no question about it, right? But they hadn't thought of that yet, so they had makiwaras instead, or each other. Yeah. He's a big fella, bring him over here. Yeah. Yeah. So the way to get into makiwara training is progressively, in order to be able to get the best out of it. Yeah. You don't have to start by hitting them either. So I found a good place to start. So for example, if I have juniors or beginners coming up, right, and again, I don't want them to injure themselves, yeah?
just start. So we train our karate posture. So in Matsubashi, we have fairly upright postures. So this would be our front punch posture, our Jinzuki posture, right? Yeah, fairly upright, knees a little bit bent. Yeah, and our Gyakuzuki posture, just a little bit lower than that, but we don't go very low, yeah? So from here, yeah, just pushing from that front hand, right? So if I just use my hand, that's also okay, right? It's better than nothing, right? But what I want to do is engage the whole body. If I move my center this far forward, and I can transfer that here, that means that I'm going to push this far forward. Well, that's the equivalent of a knockout punch, right? Being able to put that much weight into a forward movement. So, okay. So the other thing that's not happening is I'm not doing this and doing this, right? You can do that afterwards. Yeah, first, we want to learn to like move everything together. Yeah, so from here, Gyakuzuki, right? Push through. So that's sort of the entry level. Yeah, if you're working on this one, yeah, yeah, here. Right, so it's not a lot of movement, but it's coordinated movement. Okay. From there, then you can change that into impact. Yeah, I wouldn't start back here. Yeah, I would start here. Yeah, just because so you learn first not to screw up your wrist. The first thing you can do is screw up your wrist, right? Like this, you'll know when you do it. It's painful. Like this, yeah. Sometimes kids more end up punching a bit like this, yeah, yeah, yeah. Leopard. Somebody called it. I don't know. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's not a great way to punch. It hurts. So, here, this one, short, short, and then Gyakuzuki same, right? Rather than from back here, from here. Because the other thing as well is you need to have the stability behind you, right? If you're punching and you don't have this stability, so for example here, yeah, you do the boxing punch. Not wrong, but for Makiwara training, I think it's better that you learn stability first, yeah? So actually you push from the heel. If the heel's up, you can't push from the heel, right? It's a different, your energy's going forward. Yeah, if you want reach, yeah? But right now we don't need reach. We know it's in reach, yeah? So, yeah. Try and push from the rear. Okay? So, just those two principles. There's like 6 of us, so we're going to work on rotation. Yeah? 1 minute on a station, and then rotate out, take a break, other people come in. So everybody gets like two tries to just try pushing or hitting. Okay? So, take your positions. Yeah, everybody's going to get a go. It's not cracking yet. I'm always listening for it to crack. It doesn't. Yeah. Use that one first. Yeah. You've done 1, 2, yeah? 1, 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So still stability in your base, I still think is the most important thing at this stage. It doesn't really matter how hard you're hitting. I'm hitting hard because I'm used to it, and I'm heavy, I'm big. So if I put my weight into my strikes, they're heavy, they're hard strikes, right? It's just physics, right? So I don't need to do big movements, yeah? but any of us, if we can put our body weight into our strikes, more than sufficient to knock somebody down. Yeah, on the chin, whatever, right? Or on the chest, whatever. So from here now, 1, 2, back to guard. 1, 2, back to guard. 1, 2, back to guard. 1, 2, guard. 1, 2, guard. 1, 2, guard. Also, if you don't have to worry about this, but try to only tense just at the point that you hit, right? So you don't need to have make these balls of steel before you hit, right? You can hit, if you can see this, right? You don't need to make a fist to hit, right? Yeah. Okay, it's alignment. You just got to align the bones. It makes it a little bit easier and gets your fingers out of the way, right? And it's natural. People do this, right? You don't have to make a fist to hit hard, right? So the point is, try to relax until almost the point you're just touching, and then it actually gives you a little extra ping. Yeah, it gives you a little extra. This is actually part of Kian's punching technique that he talks about. He was a small man. He talks about, especially when you want to hit bigger people. Yeah, just that. It's like that, a bit over the top. Yeah, you have to get over the top and hit them like this with this here, right? Here, this. So that's kind of, you can work that a little bit. Yeah. Okay, it's another level, right? So 1, 2, just do it stable, yeah? 1, 2, stable, okay? Again. Yeah. Is it breaking? Yay! Let's see if we can break the makiwara this time. Good. Keep this one tucked in closer. Don't let it flare out too much. Yeah. That's good. Let me just show you something. Okay. So from here, you're doing tateken, which is great. That's fine. Tateken is good for short distance, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to rotate to make power. It's more distance. Yeah.
Right.
But from here, yeah, you can go to about there.
Okay.
That gives you a little more. And from here, yeah. The tricky thing is not to flare out there. Yeah.
Rotate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And change your stance as well. Left side forward, right side forward. Okay, you want to change?
Okay.
It's not. I don't think it's supposed to go that way quite so much, but it does. But in my various, I drew 3 dots on it, so I'm going to use that for like accuracy, trying to hit very accurately, because it's so strict. If you're off, you're off. You know what I mean?
So it wasn't really designed for that. You kind of just put it up that way.
I mean, most people say that that's a flaw.
No, I like it.
Right. Oh, it's not stable as a upright. And that's what they're used to, right? But like I say, it trains you to be very accurate. So one of the things we can do then is add movement to that. So we worked on getting our base, but we need to keep our base where we move, right? So when we step in, step out, yeah? Suriashi, step out, yeah? Suriashi, step out, Suriashi, step out, okay? So this is one thing we do: step in, one hit, and come back. Step in, and come back. So we use the forward motion, and come back, yeah? So Suriashi, okay? So that's just sort of, once you're used to stability, then that's natural. One thing to be careful about is this. This is not quite so good. There's a point here where you've lost stability, right? Yeah, exactly. If at that point you banged up against somebody, you've got nothing behind, yeah? So better rear foot, Front foot, yeah, definitely better for stability. Okay, cool. Okay, a couple of combinations that I like to do on the makiwara. So one other hit, we've done essentially seiken so far, yeah? But we can do uraken, so we're hitting with the knuckles, yeah? You can't hit as hard as this as with a straight punch because the bones are not aligned behind it, right? That's very strong. This is less strong, but you get the snap, yeah? So combination. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, combination. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so that's one combination you can try, yeah? 1. I would say with this one, don't make it into a steel ball. Flick it. Yeah. A flick is a strong, actually stronger, yeah? Because what's the target for this? It's generally the head. So sometimes you can use it to the body. Generally, it's the head, right? And the flick is like really works. You're going to hit the nose, hit the eyes, whatever. Yeah. So the flick is, you just sort of loose fist. This one also is good for this. Here, yeah, it makes a lovely sound. Yeah. Right. When we hit this one, as Vince was saying, this one's very strict. If you miss, you're off the side, and that's when you take the skin off your knuckles. So don't go too crazy on this one, because it has to be accurate, right? Yeah. If you miss, you'll take the skin off. These are a little more forgiving. All right. So let's try this combination now. Either 1, come back, keep your guard, yeah. Or, yeah, this one, 1, 2, come through. Okay? Yosh. Hai, dozo. So Beth,
Yes.
engage your hip a little more by rotating. Yeah, so as you slide in, rotate so you can engage particularly your rear hip, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and when you pull out, you can come more to a oblique stance. When you slide in, 1, 2, slide that hip in. Yeah. You got Vince, you too, yeah? So, at the moment you're stepping 1, 2.
Am I getting the heel up again?
So try to bring this in.
Bring it in
Yeah.
from the heel.
Yeah. Drag it in with your right hip. Yeah. Drag it in with your right hip. Yeah. Okay, and change. Okay. Start about another half meter back. Yeah, that's it. Then you're going to slide in a bit more. Yeah. Start there, come back to there. It's not loose. It's just the rings are up. Okay. Okay. Hi, Emmy. Good. All right. Okay. One more combination. So of course, the main thing about makiwara training is first to learn how to not hurt yourself regularly when you're training. Yeah. So there's no point in having a tool that injures you. Same with the chishu, right? You know, what's the point in injuring yourself doing these things? You might as well do 10% of what you thought you could do, but at least do that regularly rather than injure yourself and be able to do nothing, right? So same with the Makiwara, okay? Having said that, once you can let the power go, fantastic. You know, you can really start to go. And actually, once you can engage your hips, that's when your hands are really going to start to hurt, because there's a lot of power that can be released from your hips once you can use your hips and move your body, yeah? And if you can put your body weight behind the strike, you'll really feel it. Like, you'll think, ooh, you need to back off on that a little bit, because, you know, the hands aren't that big, they aren't that strong, right? So you have to, like, build them up, yeah? Having said that, one more combination that I like is a combination that brings in a position from Naihanchi Kata. So this is kind of, I think there's equivalent positions in Goju-ryu, but this is very distinctive Naihanchi Kata, which is a sideways stance and hitting laterally, like we were just doing with the kettlebells, yeah? Kettlebells, yeah? This. Yeah? Chokuzuki, is that what it's called in Japanese? yeah, absolutely, this one. Coming from, in Matsuo Shuru, it's called Masazuki, which means the fist that goes that slides in front of the body. Masazuki. It got parallel, yeah.
Strangely, it's called that way now for us.
Right.
Going over there.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's variations, right? But this, essentially, right, so now I don't want to do this, right? Because when I hit like this, that's my energy route, right? If I'm like this, I'm gone, right? So here, yeah, I want to keep these and use my core, right? So you can just practice this standalone, yeah? Parallel. Okay. You can start here if you like, if it makes it easier, but basically from this position, chamber position, yeah, throw, come back, relax, yeah, relax, yeah, and relax, okay. If you're okay with that one, then you can put it into a combination, right? So we can go 1, Junsi Gyakuzuki, and Masazuki, yeah? Junzuki Gyakuzuki, and Masazuki, for example, yeah? Or 1, cover, 2, cover, 3. All right, so again, we can do hit, block, yeah? Gone in, cover, yeah, for example. So, just practice the side position to start. You already did Junzuki and Gyakuzuki. So then if you're happy with that, you can go 1, 2. The difference here is the hip drops in, and then I throw from the hip, right? So it's really stance, yeah? Junzuki stance, Gyakuzuki stance, Naihanchi stance, and hit. All right, give it a try. Try the Masazuki now. Dozo. Right. Yes. Often this is translated as an arm bar, right? Yeah.
And I noticed Uchi uses it for block.
Yes. Okay, so try and keep the rear heel on the floor. Yeah. Try and keep this very rooted. Yeah, and keep this glued to the floor. You're going to twist from your midsection. So your hips as much as possible are going to stay in this range. If they go here, your stance is lost. Right? Yeah, it's a very close in technique. Typically, you've entered it under somebody's guard, and you're hitting into the ribs or something like that. Yeah.
Kata that
Yeah.
use that motion. The only thing I think is really good.
Right. Yeah. Peanut butter. Yeah.
Hi. for a good time. Oh, you're saying? Yeah, I just sort of figured that too.
But we also, for example, when we look at Wanshu kata tomorrow, we have this. Yeah, so it's a very an open hand variation. Yeah. Some translation, the bunkai translation sometimes for this movement is that it's an arm lock.
Oh,
yeah,
Grip the arm.
it's an arm
Yep.
bar. So it's here. So that's off one of the translation stuff. Okay. So there are quite a lot of different takes on how to use a makiwara, okay? And it's not to say if one's right or one's wrong. But from my perspective, the characteristics of the makiwara, because it flexes and gives you feedback, it pushes energy back into you in the way that hitting a wall or even a bag doesn't really do. That puts the emphasis on you being stable, you're having stability, right? So different, you get different benefits from different training tools. But with this, I think you should be looking to always optimize your stability when you're hitting, yeah, and in the movements in between hitting. I think that's what the makiwara is really, really good for. And of course, as a function of that, moving your body weight behind your movements and retaining your balance, right? I mean, anybody can do this, right? Throw everything into a massive haymaker, right? But there's no stability there whatsoever. Yeah, it's dangerous for you, probably more dangerous for you than the person you were trying to hit, right? Yeah, exactly. So stability. Flip side, we also need to work mobility as well. Most of the exercises that we've just done are about stability, stance, structure, strength. Yeah, a little bit about snappy, explosive power as well. Yeah, but you also need to supplement that with mobility exercises. That's what we didn't do too much of today, but that's also should be important part of your training, right? Obviously. So actually, I think more modern Hojo Undo gives us more options for that. So, for example, working with exercise bands. Yeah, exercise bands can be very, very good for working snappy, fast strength, mobility, partner exercises, or working by yourself. Secure the band to something and practice striking, kicking with the added resistance of the band, right? So these are also, I think, a really, really good tool and fantastic value for money as well. They cost very, very little to make. So we're not going to do these today, but I would say if I had to choose just a few tools for Hojo Undo, I would choose Chishi. Chishi, extremely versatile, right? I would choose exercise bands actually, and those two would probably be the first two. After that, things get a little more difficult to get hold of, or a little bit more expensive to get hold of, although they're worth it, right? But the very basics. Chishi you can make, right? We made all those. It's a great, outdoor activity for you and the kids to make chishi and paint them, and they're if they break, no problems, make some more, right? That's all fine. So, chishi and exercise bands, I think, are good.
Question for the chishi.
Yeah.
Did you score the bottom of your sticks to help the concrete stick to them?
We just put 2 screws through the bottom, 2 nails or 2 screws, bit of wire, something like that. So there's a little bit more just sticking out in the base. It doesn't have to be huge, yay big, so that it's inside the concrete at the end of the day. But yeah, just a couple of cross pieces, small cross pieces to give the concrete something to grip to. Yeah. When you are choosing handles, whatever wood you're going to use for them, I would go for something thicker and bigger. Yeah. We've used all kinds of different things you can see over there, from cheap dowel, thin dowel to axe handles. I would go for something thicker and bigger. Why? Because it's also going to make your hand work harder for gripping as well. And if we're working to have a grip which is useful against, say, somebody else's wrist, for example, or clothing, then you want to work a bigger grip. So if you can, get a bigger bit of dowel, or even if you had a nice thick bow, you're like, oh, it's a bit bent, whatever. Sometimes, the bows bend over time here with the humidity and the use. When they get really like U-shaped, we'll chop them up and they turn them into chishi. So.
We had about 10 pair of wooden kama.
Right.
That we have ripped the blades out.
Right.
They are ready for concrete.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Something that you can get a good hold of. Yeah.
I
absolutely.
used one of the small dowel and I felt it like almost blistering because it's such a small
Yes.
contact.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So that's a learning experience, and obviously it varies too about who's going to use it. Something that we shared with our juniors, even from 5 years old, was the experience of making chishi and using chishi. So you see, they're allowed to paint them as they wanted, which was a fun thing for them too. Yeah, I mean, I think starting to even introduce the juniors into a bit of Hojo and Do is a fun thing to do, and it gets them on the path to understanding that, they should be building, they should be training and building themselves up to be stronger and fitter. Yeah, I think that's all good. So Hojo and Do-wise, of course, there's a lot that falls under Hojo and Do supplementary exercises, but what we've covered are some of the ones that we do very regularly and I think are quite effective. But also, lift weights. There's no substitute for lifting weights if you want to get bigger and stronger, right? Or dynamic body exercises. So obviously, the basics, right? Press ups, like the warm ups we did, moving across the floor. I'm finding rather than just doing static press ups, like doing those kind of exercises where you actually end up doing like 50 press ups, but you don't really realize it. And there's a lot more fun. Yeah. So that kind of stuff is really, really good. Yeah, that's.
There's a guy online that I use, and he uses a lot of that animalistic type of movements
Yeah.
called GMB bodies.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of stuff is free online. That's the exact same as that.
Yeah.
If you have kids or stuff like that, there's like 10 different animal movements
Yeah.
that you can, from kangaroo to like to ostrich,
Right. Yeah. That's nice.
And
Yeah.
it's fun, and then the kids get to learn how to move. So.
Yeah.
Is that GMB mobility?
GMB bodies, I think, gold medal bodies.
Oh, okay.
And it's a guy it's an American guy who used to live in Japan. He just moved back 2 months ago, and it's online. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I think it's the same person.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's like lots of different intermediate levels, and it goes up. A
Yeah.
lot of it's free to access online.
Yeah, we do. Recently, I've been doing with the kids a few different animal movements.
Maybe you were stuck. Your lower back, there was sort of stuck. So maybe that lizard or whatever.
Yeah.
GMB bodies.
Yeah.
They've got an intermediate course of maybe $20, and
Yeah.
everything in 1 month, everything will be. So doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
I have definitely been watching him and doing some of the body movements.
Yeah,
And
20
the
minutes.
kids love it.
Oh yeah.
20 minutes a day when you're starting to, run into lower back mobility problems. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Could you add that to the natural job?
Priceless, because once you've got it, then you can then teach it to your students, and then you can get the benefit from it yourself. Like Jen said, it's all body exercise. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think natural movement, anything that's based on natural movement is great. I think once we learn to avoid the unnatural positions, the ones that are dangerous for knees and hips and shoulders, then you can sort of steer yourself through these things a lot better, right? We were talking about stances earlier on, and protecting the knees against lots and lots of rotation in the air, that kind of thing. They are unnatural movements, and over time, they do damage to your body. So, cool. All right, so we're going to wrap up the first session there, unless you have any other questions. We'll talk through what your lunch options are. Okay? Let's come back into the middle of the map. Okay. Okay, thank you, Escape. お時間にありがとうございました。はい。Okay, cool. So next session we're going to start at 2 o'clock.